What's up, Saiyan Army? Welcome to the video. This is a new clan transformation for you guys, number 27. Now, as you guys know, it is my lifetime goal or YouTube channel career goal to get 100 of these clan transformation videos up right now. Just have a goal just to get one of these up every single month. I know I missed a bunch of months in the past, but moving forward, I want to consistently just get one of these up every single month until we get to 100. And just for me personally, that's just a personal goal for myself. Just like so 15-20 years from now, I can look back at these videos and say like, oh, you know, hey, I helped all these people. I can look at the comments, I can look at the views, and hopefully that these videos, you know, motivate, inspire, and change a ton of lives in the process. So as always, before we get into this video, I want to shout out my client Ryan for allowing me to share his journey, his progress with all of you guys to help motivate you guys into this new year to ascend and make those gains. So please do me a favor, like the video, share it with your friends, you know, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let's get it. So a little background on Ryan. So this is a little different than a lot of my other clan transformations where he isn't very new to the gym, he isn't new to tracking macros. He's done all of that in the past, and as you'll hear in his story, just needed someone to just kind of help him stay accountable and just, you know, give him that little push. He signed up for 6 months of online coaching. In this transformation, I'm only going to show you 10 weeks. Comment down below if you want, you know, the full 6 months later, because we will be continuing to cut into and reverse into a lean bulking phase as we go. And right now we're still in the cutting phase and reversing very soon, so stay tuned. He is tall. He is 6'3". He is that Napa height. I don't know if Napa's that tall, but he's tall, 6'3", 234 pounds. He is a local from Hawaii. Shout out to all my local Hawaii peeps. Workout experience, he's been off and on for the past 12 years. He's dabbed in powerlifting the past 5 or 6 years. And what I did was, since he was already training about 6 days a week, I pushed up his volume a little bit higher and put him on a version of my Super Saiyan 6 program. You can check that out at SaiyanArmy.com. And I also asked Ryan to write me a little something for you guys, you know, just to share a little bit of his story, struggles he overcame, and this is what he had to say. I'm Ryan, 34 years old. I'm working in IT in the Air Force. Thank you for serving. I've been lifting for about 10 years overall, but only a few years consistently. I fell in love with powerlifting, which helped me gain a passion for fitness. I looked to Matt for coaching because I needed the one thing that I couldn't do alone, accountability. I knew how to count macros and how to lose weight and gain weight and how to lift, but when put into practice, it never works out how you want it to. I found myself yo-yoing between aggressive cuts and YOLO dreamers bulks where I thought I was happy. I'd be lean for a spell, yet have lost a lot of my gains, or strong but be fat. I decided that hiring a coach and putting my money on the line was the best way to move forward. This experience has taught me the much needed accountability and discipline that I once lacked and has remotivated me and stimulated my fitness journey. I plan on potentially competing in both powerlifting and bodybuilding in the near future, as well as starting my own online coaching. I'd like to thank Matt for his patience and keeping me accountable yet flexible to my goals. His IG is the Kimchi Lifter if you guys want to check him out. Also, he has 2 Dexa scans, one which we will show in the beginning, and he plans on doing one at the end of 6 months, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so before we get into week 1, let's go through Ryan's before pictures. Here's his before pictures. As you can see, Ryan has a good base. You know, he holds a lot of his body fat in, you know, the typical areas. The lower stomach. You can see like slight visibility of upper abs. You probably could see a little bit more if he was actually flexing. But yeah, he holds lots of his fat, you know, in that lower abdomen area. He holds a lot of fat in his back as well. As you can see, not a lot of V-taper going on. But he has a good base. You can tell he lifts. He's been lifting for years. You can tell he has that muscularity underneath that body fat. And here's also his Dexa scan, which I've never done a Dexa scan here or ever, so comment down below if you guys like to see me do a Dexa scan. Maybe like before one of my Comic-Con events, I can do a Dexa scan before the cut and after the cut just to see how lean I can get. But yeah, here's his Dexa scan. He is 21.1% body fat. Again, we'll be doing another Dexa scan at the end of the 6 months, or maybe after the end of his cut. Right now we're still cutting him down. He is 174.5 pounds of lean muscle, which puts him at 46.8 pounds of total fat mass on his body. So as I talked about earlier, Ryan does hold majority of his body fat in his android or belly, 29.9% of body fat in his stomach, His hips, he holds a lot of body fat as well. Arms and legs, relatively lean, which is relatively normal. Most people hold their body fat, you know, all in the midsection, protecting those organs and all that stuff and all the important stuff. And that's really how majority of people lose their body fat, is from the outwards in. So you'll notice your arms and legs will get leaner before the rest. But yeah, that puts him at 21% body fat, 174.5 pounds of lean body mass, and overall 46.8 pounds of total, you know, body fat on his body. All right, week 1 macros: 300 carbs, 75 fats, and 230 grams of proteins. So prior to this, Ryan's macros were kind of like all over the place. He had a kind of idea of how much calories he was on, but wasn't really tracking very strictly. So I kind of just took an estimate of where his metabolism was at, and that's where we started. Starting cardio was 2 sessions of 300 calories. That's low intensity steady state cardio, and his average weight for that week was 230 pounds. So an automatic 4-pound drop from the first week. And as you can see in his week 1 pictures, a lot of that water weight has come down. No, he didn't lose 4 pounds of fat right off the bat like that. It is normal to lose water weight in the beginning. Lighting is a little bit different, I must admit. Even though he's standing in the same spot, I think it's a different time of day. So lighting actually looks a little bit better in week 1, which makes his body look a little bit leaner. From the back, you know, everything just looks a little bit tighter than it did in the previous week 0. A lot of clients, what they do is they'll, you know, binge or, you know, have a lot of cheat days prior to starting coaching. So yeah, a lot of water weight loss in the beginning of coaching is totally normal, especially for those who go a little overboard prior. Week 2. So starting from week 2, we're going to be skipping every other week. We're going to do weeks 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Again, all the macros, cardios, and the weigh-ins will be on the screen for you guys to follow along. But just doing that for time's sake, so this video isn't a 20-minute long video. Week 2 macros: 325 carbs, 75 fats, 230 grams of proteins. Cardio stayed the same at 2 sessions at 300 calories. New low weigh-in at 226 pounds. So another 4-pound drop, a lot of water weight again. So the reason why I increased macros was because we saw such a big drop in the beginning. Yes, a lot of it was water weight, but in the beginning with a lot of my clients, I try to gauge their metabolism and actually like push it. So some of the times what I'll do with certain clients is I'll increase macros every week just to see if their metabolism can pick back up again. And you know, if we can keep increasing macros and they keep on losing weight, then that's a great deal, because more food is better than less. So here's his week 2 pictures. Physique pretty much looks exactly the same. Again, lighting slightly different even though he's in the same spot. Maybe if you had to nitpick, his upper abs are coming in just a little bit more. His back definition looks totally different from week 1 to week 2. I guess he's like flaring his lats out a little bit more. His posture's just a little bit different in week 2, so his back looks a lot better. But it looks like he keeps that same posture for the weeks moving forward. He has good V taper, especially if you compare it to week 0. His V taper looks a lot better. Back's definitely one of his stronger points. From the side, his stomach looks like it's flattening out just a little bit, and his arms are getting just a little bit more defined. Week 4 macros: 325 carbs, 80 fats, 230 grams of proteins. As you can see, in week 3 we kicked it up again. To 350. He had a slight increase again in weight, so we backed the carbs and the macros back down again just slightly. So 325 carbs, 80 fats, 230 grams of proteins. We kicked up cardio slightly by 1 session, 3 sessions of 300 calories. This transformation was honestly really simple. Not a lot of changes needed to be made, but you know, it just shows you guys that consistency triumphs all. As long as you're consistent and putting in the work and just, you know, being patient with the process, you will gain results. And his average weigh-in was 226.3 pounds, so a little over his week 2 weigh-in, which is all good. Like I said, the first couple of weeks we're just gauging his metabolism. The goal is always to cut on as much food as possible. You know, once in a while I get clients that complain about having too much food, but understand, you know, I'd rather have too much food than too little. It's better than starving. So yeah, that's always the goal. You know, obviously, as you've seen in my other transformations, some clients have to cut on very low foods, but understand Ryan's a big boy. He started at over 230 pounds at 6'3", so obviously having that much size and muscle is gonna typically need more food. But yes, I've worked with people his size with, you know, turtle Master Roshi metabolisms. But here's his week 4 pictures. Lighting looks slightly different. Not much changes that I can see. Maybe if I had to nitpick, his arms look slightly more defined. His back actually is coming, his V-taper looks a little bit better than week 2. His arms like slightly leaner, but I think the back is definitely the biggest difference. Definitely in his before pictures, his back looked like he was holding a lot of fat, and it looks like it's leaning out relatively quickly. Week 6. Macros, 325 carbs, 80 fats, 230 grams of proteins. So macros stayed the same all the way from weeks 4 to week 6. Why? Because he kept dropping weight every single week. I say this all the time in all my videos. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Don't rush the journey. You know, fat loss is a marathon, not a sprint. So treat it as such. You know, the goal is always to create a good relationship with food and to diet on as much food as possible. Cardio, 3 sessions at 300 calories. New average low weight, 220.8 pounds. Another, I don't even know how much that is, like a 4-pound drop. Looking at his physique, you can see that it looks a lot leaner going from weeks 4 to 6. His abs look a lot better. You can see his lower abs just starting to peek through finally. His back is looking just great. I mean, he has really good V-taper going on. His waist looks really good in comparison to how wide his back is. From the side, arms leaning out just slightly. You can see a little bit more tricep action going on. You can see his stomach is flattening out just a little, and we're just gonna keep on rocking. Week 8, macros, 325 carbs, 80 fats, 230 grams of proteins. Cardio, 3 sessions at 300 calories. So cardio pretty much stayed the same. For this entire 10 weeks, we started at 2 sessions, cranked it up to 3 sessions, and didn't really have to go past. A lot of clients ask me, you know, when are we gonna start adding HIIT into the program? HIIT is high intensity interval training. And yes, this HIIT is very effective, but it's not mandatory for everyone. And this is definitely one of those cases where it's definitely not mandatory. Yes, you know, we could have added in HIIT. It would have took a toll though on his leg day. It would have took a toll on his squats. It might have, not guaranteed, it might have, because HIIT is very taxing and it's like another leg day. That's why, you know, I always recommend not going anything more than 2 HIIT sessions a week. Anything more than that, especially if you're hitting legs twice a week, then 2 hits, you're literally hitting 4 sessions of legs every single week. That's why that's the max that I recommend. So new average low weight, 217.5 pounds, so a 3-pound drop from the previous week. And here's his week 8 pictures. Abs coming in even more, lower abs, you know, really where you can see the fat leaning out a lot is his lower abs. His lower is coming in. His chest even looks a lot leaner. His shoulders are capping off a lot more. Back, his waistline looks even smaller than the previous week. Obviously, yes, it's a little bit different angle. Yeah, his waistline looks great. His V-taper looks great. From the side, everything is looking better. And let's go into week 10. Week 10, our final week. Macros, 300 carbs, 70 fats, 220 grams of proteins. Yes, that's pretty much the same macros that we started with, that he's ending with. And he's lost 23 pounds in the process. And why is that? A lot of that's just gauging metabolism, increasing cardio here and there, increasing volume in his workout program, and his body just really responded very quickly to everything. And here's his week 10 pictures. Stomach looking lean, lower abs are pretty much in, even though like we're continuing the cut and getting him even more shredded. Abs are looking great. V-taper from the back, great. Doesn't have any whatsoever like love handles from the back that you can see. From the side, triceps, shoulders, everything coming in. Obviously lighting is really good in these week 10 pictures, but you can see a lot of progress that has been made. So that's the end of the transformation. Again, leave me a comment down below if you guys want to see that full 6 month when we finish. We're continuing to cut, or maybe even get a workout with Ryan in, just because he's in Hawaii. We can feature him on the channel possibly. All right, so before we end this video, there's just one thing I want to go through. I posted this on Instagram just recently. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, follow me at Gokuflex. But this is the one thing that I attribute, you know, a lot of my success to on social media, on YouTube, on business, in my life. And I hope it really helps you guys as well. And I posted, learn to do the things that you don't want to do. It's as simple as that. Do them anyways because it's the right thing to do, and it'll get you closer to your goals. Meaning every day we hit forks in life, where we can either go to the gym because it's the right thing to do and it'll get you closer to your goals, or stay at home because you're tired. Because if feels right. When you can start doing what's right instead of what feels right, that's when you guys will succeed. I promise you guys. And every day we hit those forks in the road. Every day, you know, we all are where we are today because of the decisions that we make every single day. You know, and it's just those little decisions that we don't even think anything about. Am I gonna do cardio or am I not? You know, am I gonna go to the gym? Am I not? Am I gonna eat good or am I not? You know, just those little things add up. And 20, 30 years from now, if you're 100 pounds overweight, you know, yes, those days where you choose to eat bad add up. You know, those days where you choose to not go to the gym add up. Whether 20, 30 years from now you end up with, you know, heart disease, diabetes, you know, it's an epidemic, especially in America. You know, don't let that be you. Make those good decisions now. Don't be a statistic, you know, and I promise you guys will all ascend in 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, many more to come. Again, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Also, for those guys who don't have notifications on, turn it on. For those of you guys who want online coaching, who want to work with me, I'm opening up a lot more spots for this new year because a lot of you guys want to ascend. So email me, gokuflex@gmail.com. For programs, check out SaiyanArmy.com. If you guys can't, you know, don't have the money for online coaching, check out my Saiyan Shredding program. I highly recommend it. You know, I put everything I know from all my clients into one ebook, so you can do it on your own. Also, check out my sponsors, EHP Labs and Alpha Clothing. Link will be down below in the description. See you guys in the next one. Much love, strength, and honor. Aloha.